Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these
こっから
caterpillars.
か。
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
つまりどういうこと？でも1個足んねえな、まだ。関係ないだろう。関係あんのか。まあこれまでの数字だともうやっぱホワイトが犯人になるんだな。でも1個足んねえな。
What should we do?
まだ1個足んねえな。なんだろう。1個足んない情報があるぞ。なんだろう。あ、あれあったこんな。あ、変わった。あ、ヘイミッシュも可能だったってことか。うん、まあ可能だよね。専門的知識に欠けてる？今の推理だとホワイトも犯人になりえないのか。ホワイトが専門的知識に欠けてる。これがちょっとわからんな。ホワイトが犯人じゃない可能性もある。ホワイト犯人だと思ってたけど違うかもしんない。まあ一応なんか証明できるとか言っちゃってるしな。犯人じゃないのかもしんないな。証明しちゃってるからな、勝手に。あ？だったらもうヘイミッシュしかいねえじゃん。ていうかもうヘイミッシュしか犯人いないじゃん。でもホワイトの知識が足りないっていう証明はどうやってしてるんだ。真実を語ってないかもしれない。ヘイミッシュは急に怪しくなってきたな。いや、ホワイトに関する情報がねえな。これはもう今までの記憶を頼りにってことか。 どういう意味なんだこれは。これはヘミシか。ヘミシは急に怪しくなってきたな。バトはありえんだろう。わかんないな。ホワイトの情報がねえな。ニコチン酸欠乏症。いや、じゃあもうヘミッシュが犯人で進めた方が良さそうだな。だからホワイトは知識が十分ではない。そうするともうヘミッシュが犯人だろ。ヘミッシュは有罪。なんでこれ逮捕するとか言ってんの。結論じゃねえじゃんこれ。逮捕するってどういうこと。なんか勝手に逮捕するとか言ってんの。
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
なんか今までと違くねこれ。でもまだ結論じゃないからこれ。結論じゃないから多分。多分これ行かなきゃ多分まだ終わりじゃないだろう。結論じゃないもんだって。あいつは犯人っていう結論出してないもんまだ。犯人ルート多分必須なんだろうこれ。わかんねえな。違う、なんでもうヤードにいんだ。なんでヘイミッションもうヤードにいんの。
Mr. Holmes?
もう捕まってんだヘイミッシュ。
Locked.
え
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it.
本当か
I'll
よ。
send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
しばらくして。なんかもうヘイミッシュが犯人って話進んじゃってるけど結論出てないこれ。どういうことなんだろう。よくわからんな。未 スリードっぽい気もするけど。
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
なんでわかんだよ。完了。
Mr. Ho... Mr. Mr.
どこ？死んでる。
Holmes, my God!
Yes. We found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
本当にこの BGM。
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
この BGM である。
What should we...
何、第二の事件始まっ
Holmes,
た？
How?
これが次の事件とかもしかして。あともう犯人候補少なすぎだろ。邪魔だよお前。邪魔なんだけど、またさんどいてくんね。
What should we do?
いや、どいてほしいんだけど。なんなのこいつマジで。消えろお前。
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
首など即死ってどういうことだよ。首絞めて即死ってありえんのか。
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
もうそんな話あったか。まだ続くんかこれ事件。じゃあヘイミッシュは犯人やったのか、あれ殺害は。でだとしたらレストレイド
Something about this rings very oddly.
どういうことだ。わ
Why
け
do
わ
you
かんない。
say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us
yeah,
analyze
what's
the
in-
facts and
Eh?
statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
覚えてねえよ。とりあえず、どうやってやんの？これを入れてくんだろう。あ、そういうことか。これを9時半。あ、
っていうので緑色とか黄色とか色がついてて、それがそれぞれの証言だかなんだか分からない。
これちっちゃすぎて分かりづれえな。これがヘミッシュか。10時20分。ヘミッシュは、種に戻る。10時20分前ってどっちなんだろう。9時40分なのか、10時20分の前なのか。分かりづらいよな、これ。9時40分を指してんのか、10時20分ちょい前を指してんのか。
とりあえず10時20分でいいのかな。
9時40分もあんだよな。9時40分な気がするけどな。分かりづらいんだよな、この表現が。まあいいや、とりあえずその10分後に戻った。とりあえず9時50分にこれ入れてみてか。で、ヘミッシュは裏庭に。で、ダンって誰？あ、被害者。で、ダンもここでいいのか。10時に、あ、でも10時に、これ10時だからいいのか、合ってんのか。これ表現分かりにくいな、10時20分前。9時40分って書けよ。どっちとも取れんだよ、これ。ホワイトさんは、なんでホワイトさん付けなの？なんでヘイミッシュとアルバートは呼び捨てなのにホワイトさんさん付けなの？10時に会話する。まあホワイトが怪しいよな、普通に考えて。10時40分までにってことは10時40分でいいのかな。よいしょ。ちっちゃすぎて誰か分かりづらいんだよ。とりあえず10分でいいのか。ヘイミッシュはこれいいのかな。間違ってんのどっか。わかりづら。
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time.
ダンを振り込めたのは息子か。
Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
わかんねえな、でも。いや、ちょっとわかんねえな、どっちか。ヘミしたわ。でもこの二人が共犯だったら仲悪いふりしてたことになるけどな。なんだろうな。まあ時間に余裕があったのはこっちだよな。10分で、まあこれもさっきと矛盾しちゃうと思うけど。でももうこれ決断出すんだろう。まあアルバートかもホワイトかもう2択だもん。もうルートは多分2つしかないだろう。
まあ2人しかいないのに。
単独行動ってあんの？まさかの単独行動。
そんなバカな。
でアルバートは今日3つあんのか。じゃあ他にもあんのかな。なんかホワイトがタンを殺害したっていうのもあるんだけど。これはまあ違うでしょ。もうここに来て
共犯者がって言ってるわけだからね。共犯者を探すしかないんだよね。
ヘミショーさんとコード。これ教団が犯人にもできるのかな。教団犯人ルートもあるだろう多分。どうやったら教団犯人ルートに持っていけるんだろう。これかな。これは違うな。持っていけないのかな。教団が犯人ルート。本当に事件に関係ねえんだな。教団が犯人ルートはないのか。まあいいや、じゃあ一個ずつやってみるか。まあおそらくホワイトだろう。じゃあホワイト単独ルート見てみるか。あれ？もうあれか、共犯だってなったから、もうこれ。じゃあ、ヘイミショー単独行動。もう共犯っていうのが出ちゃったから、単独犯人っていうのはできないんだな。もうおかしいもんな、確かに。じゃあ、警察を任す。警察に手柄なんかやるわけねえじゃん。ヘイミショー単独行動だよ。 ん中犯人に決まってんだ。複雑だなこの事件。
そうだね。
Inspector, the case can be closed. Martin Hamish operated alone. He was meticulous in his planning, down to the smallest detail. And yet, we arrived at the truth.
本当だよ。
Well, I must thank you once again, Mr. Holmes. Without you, it would not have been possible.
迷宮でした。
Without me, you would have escaped all the criticism and blame that no doubt you will be subjected to.
I know, Mr. Holmes, that you did what was needed
To solve a case once again. I thank you for your discretion, Lestrade.
すげえ性格悪いやつ。でもアルバートと共犯だったら仲悪い演技をしてたことになるもんな。
そうだよね。絶対に協力なんかしないよね。
そんな演技になるけどな、仲悪い。お互いに仲悪口言ったのな。なんか演技ってことになるけど。
そうだね。ダウンなきあとどっちが植物園のトップになるか争ってるわけだもんね。
普通に考えてやっぱホワイトしか考えらんねえんだよな。だから次アルバートに行くか。アルバート有罪の判決を下すよ。当たり前じゃん。許さんよこいつは。でこのゲームのシャーロック・ホームズ像って合ってんのか、実際のシャーロック・ホームズ像に。ワトソンがすげえ無能にしか見えないんだけど。
Inspector. It's all over now, lad. There is no use denying it. We know that you murdered your father. Patricide by plant poisoning. Very alliterative.
What? You're mad. I didn't do it. I don't know anything about botany. No!
途中で切れてるし、達しってなんだよ。途中。
下に行ける。
達した。
顔だって見えてなかった。
まあやっぱホワイトだろ。あっさりしすぎだろ、他のやつ。
あれで赤か緑か見えるようになってる合ってるのかどうなのか。
いや多分やり直せる段階では見れないでしょ。
なんか確認するってなったけど。
あ、そうなの。見えたのかな。まあホワイトだろうしか考えられない。金目当てなの。ああ、そういうことか。動機も十分だね。これは死刑に値するわ。もう犯罪者に慈悲は与えない。
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
ここに来
It
る
is obvious, Watson. Just use your
の。
brain.
やっぱもうホワイトしかいねえ
I
じゃん。
am using it. I do
不
use
定
it.
じゃんもう。
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
In just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her.
抵抗されるってことなのか。
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right, you can count on me.
完全にホワイト犯人じゃねえか。犯人がありえねえじゃん。
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop!
来たよ。何何何。
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
出ていいのお前。
Don't come any closer.
近づかないで言ってるけど、出ちゃっていいの。出ていいのか。
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You
こい
cannot
つ無
truly
能だ
want
か
to
ら
die.
無能な描写しかなかったか。
It's too late.
いや無理でしょ。何をすればよかったんだよ。
This is tragic, Holmes.
Are you able to do anything?
今押したんだけど
I'm。afraid not. The poison has been fulminating. Her heart stopped instantly, poor child.
ちょっと。あ、じゃあこれわかるんだ。で、これ間違いようがないじゃん、これわかるんなら。間違いないってことだよね、これ、つまり。ちょっとでも、ちょっと後味悪いよ。いや、ちょっと急にああいうのこれわかんないんだよ、何をすればいいのか。じゃあ、メキシコ人の絶対間違ってたんじゃん、あれ。緑が正解ってことでしょ。カットできねえかな。カットできたっけ。
But Holmes,
It...
これは罰連打してるよ。
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
やったんだけどな。押したらダメになったんだけど。
Please remain calm.
わかんねえよ、初見ちゃん絶対。
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No.
銃
It's
撃す
too
んの。
late.
でもまああのビヨン狙うんだろうな、普通に。ちょっと。無理だよ、もう。難しすぎだろ、これ。もう一回やるわ。もう、むずすぎだろ。あの赤い丸のところだろ。
赤い丸なんであったわかんなかった。
でも早すぎてちょっと難しいよ、あれ。 分かってても難しいわ。時間が短すぎる。
これは自殺させたいという制作側の思惑があるのか。
有罪判決下してるからこういうあれなのかもしれないけど、もしかしたら。あいつあそこに自殺するんだったら何のためにこの事件を起こしたんだよ。
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
あ、飛ばしてる。どこまで飛ぶんだこれ。どこまで飛ぶかわかんないからやめた方がいいな。
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further.
それはそれでなんか嫌だな。自分の手で成功させないと。
Stop this
どこまで飛ぶ
foolishness.
かわかんないしな。
You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
次だな。やった。それだけかよ。
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
頂上借用の余地あるかもしれない。まあ、この時代にそんなもんあるか分からんかな。ほんま。次は最後だな、多分。登場人物3人しかいなかったもんな。
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson,
We have. Where to?
to the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet. They...
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
行かなくダメなんだ。日本語がおかしくな
Mr.
る。
Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
止まった。なんかもらったかな。なんで 何もらったんだ。まあありがた迷惑な。これやっぱ間違ってたってことだよな。多分あれだな。メキシコ人が地理を封印したのは間違ってないんだけど、場所を間違えたってことだな。
やっぱり思いっきり犯人ですって動きしてたもんね。
もう一つの結末見てねえかな。わかんないけど。
まさかいろいろ見るのに。あ、手紙が渡ってる。
列車のやつは手紙もなかったもんな。やっぱ間違ってたんだよな。ホワイトに関しては書かれないの？
いや、書いてなかった。美しい女性がどう
どうなったか。
書いてない。
My... My...
まあいいや。
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs our help.
お前そんな先不老児がどうのこうのね。
Locked. Locked.
え？あれ？
Locked.
どこ行くんだよ。
Locked.
先あれヤード行かなきゃダメなのか。
そこの家に
Locked.
入ってけばいいのじゃないんですか？
そう、わかんない境界が。暗っ。
一応ランプがあるから右を止まれば見えるのか。
ほぼ見えねえ。
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
お前もミスターホームズ
Constable
か。
Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Mara. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stabbed fellow was Brian Vacotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
その二人が。
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Ah, yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
Mr. Holmes, I had no doubt about this case, but now that you are here...
マロは登場人物に含まれるのか。容疑者ではないんだじゃん、マロは。ではこいつと
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective, gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story? Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with the gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
Oh, こいつも銃の扱いには慣れてるってことか。何頭ハゲてるのあとなんだよ
なんだろう手も出ないしね
あ
取れて宿して
シワとかない
今回何もないの
シワさっさいビク引いてんのは歩いたいのになんでわかんだよ歩いたいのにビク引いてるってわかんのかよ
I'm so glad that the murderer...
まあこいつも容疑者の一人か
あれ食い違ってる
まあ警察が嘘ついてないのはこいつしかいないよね早速聞いてみるか
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly. This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago. The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here.
どうやって取り出したんだ
These words are illegible. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
ちゃんと置いてあるやん置きっぱなしかしか
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots. This walking stick is broken. It was placed here quite recently.
Huh?
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
Anything else you would...
それでいいのかな
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife is quite sharp. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
本当に来たなんだよ
The books on this shelf are in a mess.
あるもの現時点ではまだ何もできないとこれ何もねえかな
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard? Is he all right?
Mrs. Howell,